to episode 64 of the ThinkTank podcast. I am Jan.
Jess.
And how are we doing this week?
Excited. Like,
I know you're cray-cray.
Oh my god, dude. Yeah, we were talking because we have a group chat, obviously, between Cad, Lenny, myself, and my mom.
Mm-hmm.
And we were just talking this morning, and I googled how to chill. Honestly, none of these tips helped, so
how to chill. You really googled that?
I did, yeah. it didn't help, so that's good. And then Lenny was like, how do you Google how to not procrastinate? And one of the ones in there is like, keep free of distractions. And I'm like, well, that's not gonna work, is it?
No.
So here we are. It's
Monday. Not wanting to roast Lenny, but also a little bit how to not procrastinate. I mean,
we're the queens of procrastinating.
Like at every beginning of the month, I'm like, Lenny, don't forget to do your homework. And she's like, yeah, I'll do it. And then comes roll call, and she's like, fuck.
Yeah, that's how we operate. I think it's one of these things where it's like, here's the thing. So I track this up to like, being like in theater kind of, and like having things be under pressure, I work a lot better. So the more and more we get to due dates, the better and better I get at like I'm serious. Like
No, I also do that a lot. I try not to because it also gives me anxiety.
Yes.
So that's like a really bad thing.
Yes. But in university, I actually did this. So I did like write a paper in the right amount of time, and I didn't get like a grade that I thought I deserved for it. And then the next paper I had to write for this class, I literally sat down, put a timer on for 45 minutes and said, you're writing this like 10-page paper in 45 minutes. And then I did. And it actually like helped, and I got a better grade on it.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay.
I'm so glad I didn't have to write any like
papers. I had to write so many papers. Like,
well, I was in translation, so there's like literally no point.
It was actually really funny. My brother and I took this class together one time. We had to write a paper, and he has the exact opposite approach to me than I said, like put a timer on for like a certain amount of time, and then write a paper, and then you're good to go. And then I don't look at it. I like send it to my dad to do like corrections, and I'm like, does that make sense? Okay, perfect. Then bring it back to me and we're good. I don't like to spend, I think because like I need to just get all my ideas out in one go, rather than like thinking about it and like stewing with it and then changing my mind and then, like editing it too much, because then my like actual thoughts and ideas on the topic don't come through because I've edited so much or like censored myself so much.
Yeah.
So that's how that's why we procrastinate, especially with like
that was an issue for me like in my revision class, because I had to take 2 mandatory revision classes in university, though both of them were literally the same thing.
Right.
Love that.
I love that for you.
Yeah, I mean, it was the same for my terminology classes. It's just they needed to fill in like mandatory classes for credits. That's it. Because like for my degree, they're like, you need to take 2 English classes. I was like, okay, cool, I'll take 2. I did that like pretty early, like I think in my first year. No problem. And then towards the end, it's like, oh, you're missing credits, and I'm like, well, I'll take another English class then.
Yeah.
Because that's an easy A for me.
Yeah, that's fair. My credits, they were so weird. I'm sorry, we're going off topic here, but I just, like for my degree, it was very weird because when I started the program, I didn't need to have, like usually for arts, you have to have at least like 1 science. That's at least how my university worked, is you had to have at least 1 science if you were taking an art degree.
Yeah, not mine.
But for theater,
I did 0.
Drama, and I think most of the fine arts, you didn't have to have any science credit whatsoever. So you could take literally whatever you wanted. I did end up taking a lot of science courses because I actually like chemistry. And so I just ended up taking so many. That's why I have a minor in chemistry, because I took so many freaking chem courses.
Listen. it works, like, I guess.
It's a funny thing because like everybody's like, well, why? And I'm like, I don't know. I found that like with science, it takes a different part of your brain to sort of figure out problems. And so it expanded the way that I solve problems within certain things. Like theater had that like creative sort of, we have to like think outside the box solutions for things. Whereas like science is very like, it's not that it's rigid because it isn't, and it's actually
it's more like to the point.
Yeah, exactly. And so like like both of those things like really helped sort of form the way that I navigate problems, which I was like, who doesn't want that?
What I did for my complementary classes in college and university, I tried to take like history classes.
That's what my brother had.
In college, I took a like disappeared civilization classes.
Oh, cool.
So we talked about like the Egyptians, the Incas, and all that.
I took
it was
a Greek one.
Really good.
I took a Greek course mostly because, especially ancient Greek, because like theater, that's sort of the birthplace of theater. And so, you know, why wouldn't I take like a Greek course? What else did I take that was kind of interesting? Oh, I took a course called creativity.
What?
Yeah.
And what did you do in your creativity class?
We just learned about like different forms of creativity and how they sort of like impact.
So it's kind of like a philosophy class.
Kind of, yeah.
For art.
For art, yeah. There was also a course that was very similar to that one called Story. So creativity, story.
Okay.
Yeah, I took both of those courses. Oh, I took a gaming course one summer.
Oh, like, that's cool.
A video game history course. It was really cool.
Yeah, in college, the two complementary classes I took was history of the French language.
Ooh, interesting.
And another one was a history of Spanish civilizations.
Oh.
Which was really interesting. That teacher in that class was like really cool. The teacher for the French history class, okay, that was like one of the reasons I had like a really hard time in that class was because the teacher was an Anglophone. Like he is a native English speaker.
Right, but
like there's like no issues with that.
Right.
But he insisted to like teach the course in French. But his accent was really bad. And like I can understand most accents, but like his, there was no way I could understand him.
Interesting.
So you're trying to take notes, right? And so you're like, what the fuck did you just say? Like I don't have 15 minutes to analyze what one word means. So, yeah.
I don't know. If you look at all of my like my drama courses kind of make sense, but all of my other ones that I have to take make no sense. Like there's no rhyme or reason. I just like saw a course and I was like, oh, this is cool. Yeah, why don't I just take this credit? And it just ended up being like chemistry courses. I took some history courses. I took like those weird courses. I took a religion class one time. That was interesting.
That's always interesting, not gonna lie.
My professor for that class was super cool. I actually really liked her a lot. What else did I take? I took some anthropology courses.
One of the mandatory classes I had in my language degree in college, because I did modern languages, so most of my like mandatory classes I had like German, Spanish, English is like for everyone because I'm from Quebec.
Right.
French, obviously.
No, French and a French speaking province? That's so weird.
But one of the mandatory courses, like along with like my linguistic classes, I had some translation classes. That's why I went to that specific college.
Right.
It's not at all because it was close to my house. Is because we also had a art history.
Oh, class. I took that one time. That was super fun. Super fun. The art history course, I
like people kept complaining. It was like, why are we learning this? We're in linguistics and we're in language. I was like, this is interesting. What do you mean?
Also, like art.
But I took like
own language.
Yeah, but like I took art classes. Like even in secondary school, where I could have like taken music or like comms.
Yeah.
I continued taking art. because even though I'm not that good, I just enjoyed it.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I took theater courses. I mean,
yeah,
that's
in
why...
secondary 5, I wanted to have like my normal art classes and take like an optional art classes, but that's another entire story. Like they fucked up my year.
Yeah.
For that, they were like, "Oh, this year you only get to choose between chemistry, physics, Spanish, or like integrative project." And I was like, "But I want Spanish and an optional art class." And they're like, "No, you can't this year." I was like, "Well, fuck you then." So I took Spanish and integrative projects. So it's basically like the first part is you take like a bunch of tests, see like a kind of orientation, like where you want to go in life, blah blah blah. And then at the end, like the second part, you create a project from the ground up by yourself. But like I made a trilingual kind of like Scotland and Ireland like tourist guide. Trilingual. I did like all 3 languages.
Wow.
And the teacher was like, "Oh my god, Janelle, this is so good." And I was like, "Cool." And then I ended the class with like 98% at the end of the year. It was like, peace out. We're like 16 students in that class.
I don't remember.
Because we were forced to be there.
I think my high school had like 100, maybe 120 graduates.
Oh, we were like 300.
Yeah,
something.
We had very small.
Because my year had like a boom of births in the province. And so like every other year, like even in primary school, like normally there were like 3 classes per year.
Right.
But my year, every year they had to add a class because there were that many students.
That's wild.
But like, so where are we placing that 4th class? I don't know, because like every like hallway per grade I had only 3 classes. So they had to find a spot for that 4th class every year.
Gosh.
But yeah, it was
wild.
Yeah. But it was a fun time. Like but also I think I've told you this before. Every year, like my year is fun because we called it the reform year.
Yeah.
Yeah, 96, 97 is the reform year. And so every single year something would change. So when I was in primary school, they changed the religion courses for like a more neutral kind of thing. So instead of having like like the class split in 2 depending on your religion, we took like the class together. So it was like more morals and stuff like that.
Right.
We still learn about religion, but we learn about every religion.
Right. Yeah.
And then I got to secondary school, and my program changed in the middle of it, in the middle of me being there. And then I go to college. My program changed in the middle of me being there. And then I go to university and the same thing happened. And I'm like, what?
I think the biggest like shift that I ever had was in grade 12 when they took out the writing component to our tests at the end. So it was like we were preparing for tests that had, and I honestly, like I took bio in grade 11, like bio 12 in grade 11, so that I could get it out of the way for grade 12. And that one still had the written component, and so I was like, oh, okay, like this is great. Like I can go into grade 12 and I already have an idea of like what these written tests will be like because they were like both written like longhand and also like the bubble sheets.
Yeah.
And then when I got to grade 12, all of that was removed. So there was no written component for anything, which is fine for like the softer courses like English and social studies and that kind of stuff. But for science,
yeah, that doesn't make sense.
The longhand, it doesn't make sense, especially for chemistry, because if you take in like OChem, you know how long those formulas can be, and you can get grades in between that. Like the answer isn't the important part of those things.
Yeah, it's how you got there.
It's how I got there, and it was so frustrating. Like I took it. I wasn't happy with my grades like the first time that I took it, so I retook the test in the second semester because I was just very unhappy with the whole situation.
Yeah.
Unhappy.
The frustrating part about my last year in secondary school, apart from the fact that I didn't get to choose the option classes that I wanted, is I was in a linguistics program, right?
Yeah.
And so all throughout, I did like 4 years of Spanish, which like you don't do in Quebec because you already have French and English.
Yeah.
And I did enrich English all throughout the 5 years. So I did like advanced English. So we would learn a lot more than people in regular English classes.
Right.
And that would lead us at the end of secondary 5, the ministry exam was supposed to be the advanced English exam.
Right.
But in my school, we had two linguistics programs. So you have the international program, which was like a very heavy program where you had to do like a big project, like do like volunteering and all of that. And then you had the linguistics program, which I was in, which was very much based on languages. The thing is, both programs were supposed to do the advanced English exam at the end of secondary 5.
Right.
But when I got to secondary 5, the ministry removed that. And so the only way for me to want to take that exam was to like transfer to the international program, which I did not want to do because I want to stay with my friends. And 2, I don't want to do this big ass project and lose my social life. Like, I've been doing this for like 4 years. So I ended up taking the regular exam, acing it because my English was too advanced for it. And it was just kind of disappointing because it would have been really good for me to have that on my like credits and diploma.
Right.
But at this point I was used to it changing under my feet. It didn't get any better after that.
It never does. It never does. Anyway, all this to say is that I am a grade A procrastinator and I'm very good at it. So
and I'm also doing okay this week. Side note. I'm also doing okay.
This is what you come for. This is the case.
My family has COVID, but I'm doing okay. My family back home.
Yeah. At least your fam has the booster shot and
my mom tested positive today.
I mean, makes sense with your dad.
Well, also because like my parents like share like glasses of water whenever they're lazy or whatever, and my mom has been doing it like the whole week without knowing that he actually had COVID.
That makes sense.
And my brother also has like the same symptom as them, but with nausea as well.
Oh.
But he keeps testing negative.
Yeah. That happened to me like the first week. I was just
but my mom like was testing negative all of last week, and she tested positive today. So, he's staying home for now.
That's a good idea.
And I mean, he's not in any state of working if he has nausea, because if he like it will like throw off his blood sugar and everything.
Yeah.
So it's for the best, but that's
like it's play more games.
That's and sleep more.
True. Those are facts.
But that's the state of my family. You guys don't need to worry. I'm getting like daily updates from them, and they're doing okay.
It'll be okay.
So it was just funny because when my mom sent me the photo of my dad's test, I thought it was her because she just sent me the photo with like no explanation. I was like, oh, so you got COVID, and then she was like, no, that's your dad. And I was like, okay, so you're telling me the one family member who already has 4 doses, that works alone in his truck, goes out once to sell his dead dad's car, and gets COVID?
Yeah, that's like how it works, I think. It's so ridiculous.
But because he can still, because like instead of working like alone in this truck, he's now just paid to work from home.
I mean,
so he's still working.
Yeah.
He's just working from home.
That's like what I had to do my week. Is just worked from home.
Because he's from a small department, so they really need, not that they really need him, but like it's better to still have him working, especially since he doesn't work from an office.
Right. Yeah.
So,
yeah. True.
It's more for my mom because like she works in a school.
Well, yeah. So. With all those kids.
But yeah, she was surprised that she didn't get it from work because like a couple of the kids have been testing positive recently.
I mean, is that a surprise?
Well, it's also because kindergarten are not, because they're kind of like on the same level as like daycare, so they're not they don't have to wear masks.
Right.
So. But yeah, that's the state of my family. Love them to pieces.
Oh yeah.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Yeah, yeah.
I just made a joke to my mom this morning because my parents FaceTimed me. They were sitting on their front porch, just like enjoying the sun because they literally have nothing else to do. And like being outside, getting fresh air is also good when you're sick.
Yeah.
And my mom was like, "Oh, I had like this little like weight on my chest." And then I look at her, I was like, "Just tell Banjo to not sleep on your chest. What do you mean?" And my dad started laughing. He was like, "Yeah, MJ, stop Banjo from sleeping on your chest."
It's so cruel.
I gotta make fun of them. Because they make fun of me too, so that's how we tell each other that we love each other.
It's
right?
Facts, yeah. No, I agree with that. I mean, it's my family as well, so it's a good time. It's a good time.
All right, shall we get into the BTS news?
Yes, let's go.
So first things first, we got the BBMA nominations for 2022.
Yes.
So let me go through those. So we got nomination for Top Duo and Group, Top Rock Song for My Universe with Coldplay, Top Global, that exclude US, that's what I'm guessing.
Yes.
Song for Bata. Top Global outside the US for Artist. Top Selling Song for both Butter and Permission to Dance.
Bangtan against Bangtan, whatever you do.
Always, forever. And Top Song Sales Artist. So it's the 7 again.
It is. It's, you know, seven nominations for 7 boys. The thing that I find hilarious, maybe not hilarious, maybe hilarious is the wrong.
It's always BTS against BTS.
It is always BTS against BTS. The thing that I find interesting is that that Top Social is missing from the BBMAs, and it's not included at all this year.
Because they know BTS was gonna win.
So
should they just give it to them?
I mean, sorry, like the paper award is gone now. What are we
I wonder why.
I'm just throwing it out there. Like this is like it's not that deep, but like also it kind of is because I mean
it is what it is, right?
I'm just gonna sip my coffee.
Wait,
that's all I have.
I'm just gonna sip mine as well. That was delicious.
That's all I have for you. Anyway, I'm so proud of them. I think, like, you know, 2021, like, we didn't even have an album, and they're still, like, getting it. You know what I mean?
I'm really chaotic today. ARMY!
Facts. Like, they didn't have an album, and yet they're still...
where they deserve.
Top, so...
Top.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
I'm not saying anything, but I'm just saying.
You get us.
You understand, right?
Just a quick moment.
Hilariously, I think BTS found
their password for TikTok.
They found their password for TikTok finally. I am so happy that they found this trend. And to do it with
the shy smiles.
Oh,
I'm sorry they got Yoongi to do it with them, so it was Jimin, Hobie, and Yoongi.
It's like the cutest trio ever.
Yoongi looks so freaking shy.
He's so shy. I love it. Oh, I love it. I love it.
I mean, Jimin too also looked really shy because like when Yoongi starts like joining them, he's just like hiding his face like he usually do when he's shy.
Like, so shy and smiley. I love it so much. I'm so glad they did this trend. Like,
it made me so happy.
Like, it's just like one of those songs, you know? Like, it's just it's so like jazzy.
You already sent it.
I did, yeah, for later. Like, I don't know, it's just like so like jazzy, and it's got like that perfect like feel. You just feel like so good. It's like perfect lo-fi beats. I'm just
like my heart, boom boom.
Banya,
banya. Or ARMY's hard, banya banya.
It's true. That's how I feel about this video. I just love it. I love it that these were the three that did this.
It's so wholesome. I love this.
It's so wholesome.
All right, shall we get into the core of this episode?
It's facts.
It is officially Boraegas.
It is. As we said last week, they changed their name, and every single like hotel was
even
lit
my
up.
cup is purple.
See, the whole city of Vegas was lit up in purple last week for the first couple of days of concerts, and it was wild. I saw so many. Here's the thing: I'm trying to not watch the actual like concert themselves.
Yeah, I see clips. I see mostly on TikTok or on Twitter.
Yeah, I like watch the translations of when they were like speaking, but that's about it. That's about it.
Yeah, it's been a pretty while, like D1 and D2.
Yes. Apparently the energy was crazy on day 2, which I don't deny that. Based on
like some of the highlights that I've seen, JK seeing that poster and actually lifting his shirt. That's the one that's been the most that's been circulating the most. We've got Jin fake moving the cannons. That was so cute. The cameraman trolling Jin when he wanted to give a kiss to the camera because they kept changing angles, so he kept looking from camera to camera.
So that video is living in my mind rent free.
It's so cute.
It's wholesome.
On day 1, the screens broke, as well as their lift. So they were stuck in the hole for like what, 10-15 minutes?
Yeah, it was like 10-15 minutes by the time they got it working again, which is like it you know.
But they took them out and they were on the side just like having fun with armies.
Yeah,
which is so cute.
Yeah, it's just one of those things, like when you're working in a live situation, you never know what's gonna happen, or you never know what's gonna go.
Have you seen the memes about that?
Yes. And I agree. I remember, like, this is like a live thing that happened to me one time. I was like stage managing a show, and an actor skipped an entire monologue of like dialogue, and there was a bunch of lighting cues within that one. So I had to like skip that entire page of cues and go on to the next one. And then they realized that they missed this entire monologue and backtracked to to the monologue. So I had to like go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. This is just what happens. It's live.
Oh, JJ. Like it was just like so freaking cute.
Yeah. I think
Yoongi chasing that freaking ball.
Why is he so tiny? Tay sitting in JK's lap.
Wasn't it the opposite? I think it's JK that was sitting in Tay's lap.
I think
so. Because Tay was already on the ground. And then JK was just like, I'm gonna sit here. Because I think I saw a TikTok this morning that was comparing Bam and Jungkook both sitting in Tay's lap.
Okay.
There was also the bacon.
Oh, there's just
why do you keep doing this?
It's just so like cute and wholesome. And I also love RM's speech at the end of day one.
Yes, absolutely.
Let the haters hate and let the lovers love. I think that is such a perfect.
She's just proving once again why we are so in love with the way he thinks.
Yeah.
And the way he expresses himself.
Yeah. It also,
it's on another level, truly.
I also just love how he's like, we weren't in Vegas for the Grammys, we were in Vegas for ARMY. And I think, sometimes we get caught up in, protecting them and.
Yeah. It's just, they deserve it so much. Yeah. So that's why we're so passionate about it. But at the end of the day, we're on the same page as they are.
Yeah.
And I mean, I stand by what Yuki said in that post-Grammy Vlive. We're here for concerts and for ARMY. We're just happened to pass by the Grammys. Like,
yeah. I think also like this sentiment of like, we shouldn't let the people who are online, and of course like they see everything that's going on. And this week we had a certain particular troll. I'm not going to mention his name because honestly, like, what's the point at this point? Commenting under a Grammy post that had BTS in it. And
yeah, I saw that one on TikTok. I saw the whole story on TikTok.
Yeah, and I can understand being frustrated with the fact that you're not winning, obviously, because we are in the exact same frustration boat of how they determine things at the Grammys. But I just didn't understand why somebody would go on somebody else's post that's not even about the artist that you're trying to, produce. It's about somebody who like you don't even know, and yet you're commenting on it and trolling, and then the backtracking of like, oh, I was just trolling, sorry, this like la-di-da type of thing.
Just don't do your trolling directly under the post then.
But I think the other thing, that Namjoon had said is just like, let's not feed into this thing.
Oh yeah.
People are gonna hate regardless of what we do. There isn't, they hate for no reason. And
it's sad to say it this way, but at this point we're used to it.
Yeah, and I think we shouldn't feed into that. Like we shouldn't.
Yeah, that's why we're always like mute, block.
Yeah, mute
and report block when necessary.
Yeah, like don't let them
engage.
Don't engage. Don't let them affect the way that you. It's about protecting your mental health and their mental health. We shouldn't be feeding people who are never going to change their mind on certain topics. And it's not worth your time to put in so much energy to explain something if they don't even want to listen in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I think his Vlive was also that. For me, like his Vlive was so so cute. First of all, pray for Louder Than Bombs. Oh my god.
The song is hard, girl. Or boy. Or man. Or woman.
I love him.
That's the new best quote.
It really is. But the thing about his live that really broke my heart is the fact that he's like talking about the Grammys as though he needs to, like, they need to work harder. They need to be involved more in the album. They need to do this. They need to do that. And I'm like, that's not it at all. Like, you don't need to change the way that you're doing things. It's not about you changing things. It's about the way that the mindset of these systems that are already in place needs to change. And it broke my heart that, we strive time and time and time again to do these things, and it's still their recognition isn't fully recognized by, you know, especially the Western side. It's frustrating. And I think that's also why he was pointing out, like, not to give in to people who are hating on them or trolling them, or, you know, the antis. I'm surprised that he knew what that meant. But you know what I mean? Like, not to engage, to just, like, we live for BTS and that should be it. And I'm not saying, like, you shouldn't call out specifically like racism and xenophobia and those kind of things. Like, absolutely you should call that stuff out because it deserves to be called out. And people should know when they're crossing a line. But the people who are just saying things to say things in a space that we've created,
they don't deserve our time of day.
No, they don't deserve our time of day. So those type of people, don't call those kind of people out, because it's not warranted. You don't need to do so. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, it's not worth.
But also, like, cater your timeline the way you want to.
Yeah, like we've talked about before, it's, you know, I think you need to like really cater your timeline to be, you know, a safe space for you. And don't follow like solos or antis or things like that, because it's gonna destroy your space. And you want to create like a safe space online for you, right? And I think the last thing that he ended on, you know, was talking about how special we are as BTS and ARMY. And I think that's so true, because not only, you know, have we proven time and time again how special BTS is via, you know, whether it's like streaming or awards or the power that we have, you know, with 2020's Black Lives Matter and donating and all this kind of stuff. But I think, you know, Namjoon's right. Like, they underestimate us all the time. They don't really understand the connection that we have with them. And I think that works really well to our advantage. And so we should continue to play that underestimation game and be like, no, we're a force to be reckoned with.
Well, okay, I'm gonna make like a really weird but funny like comparison. Yeah. So you know that Kool-Aid Man meme? Mm-hmm. That's us.
It is.
We just barge in and we're like, yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think the last thing I'm gonna say here is we should not allow these people to dictate our happiness, because if they don't understand BTS and ARMY and they don't understand our connection, that's their loss, not ours.
But also, like, why would us being fan of BTS or fan of K-pop be any different for someone being so passionate about sports, for example, or like anything else? Why does it have to be different? Why does it have to categorize us into like childish things?
Because we're the general population of BTS ARMY is female. That's why.
And apparently we're all teenagers.
Again, it's that underestimation factor of,
I mean, underestimating, but also like hyper generalize. I can't say it. You understand what I mean?
Generalization.
Thank you. I can't speak today. Yeah. But it's like hyperbolizing everything about the fandom and ARMYs, and as you said, it's at the end of the day, it's their loss.
It's not our loss. Like, we are already in it. So the thing is like, nobody really understands until you're actually a part of it. And even trying to explain to people who are outside, it's kind of difficult because there are no words that sort of encapsulate.
Yeah, it's BTS difficult to make people understand.
It is, yeah. And as much as we try, there are just some people who are never going to understand and don't want to understand. So I think wasting your time on that,
just like my mom to name one.
Yeah, it's not worth your effort or your time or your mental health to, you know, try and force people.
Just do what makes you happy, right?
Yeah, who cares what other people think? Who cares what, you know, anybody else thinks about what you want to do or what you follow or what you believe in? It doesn't matter at the end of the day.
I'm a firm believer that as long as it doesn't affect the people around you negatively,
Yeah.
do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Right?
I highly recommend, if you haven't watched his Vlive, go and do it.
It's very comforting too.
It's super comforting, but it's also like very powerful in the way that, like, you know, he's telling us, as we've stated, to not worry about anybody else. Just focus on BTS.
We want to focus on. Also, boy be funny. So
yeah, he's hilarious. So it's funny, it's heartwarming, and honestly, it's very poignant. And he has a beautiful way of expressing his feelings, and I think it's just the perfect sum of what's been happening during Grammy week. And I think, you know, that sentiment will carry for a while.
Yeah, and sadly, in the way that I see it, it's not the first time we're talking about stuff like this, no. And it probably won't be the last time.
No.
But we'll repeat this sentiment as much as we need to repeat it.
Yeah.
Because it's so important. Absolutely. I mean, at least to us, yeah. It is so very important. And yeah. We just want to be happy. We want you guys to be happy. We want armies to be happy. We want the boys to be happy.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, that's what we're striving for.
Exactly. And nobody else should be able to penetrate that barrier, you know, unless we want them to.
Yeah. And I think unless we let them in, there shouldn't be any reason for them to be coming in the first place.
Exactly. I agree.
Not the two of us with our awkward smiles, like.
Do you agree? The last thing I'd like to say about the concerts over the weekend is just like some general reminders about concert etiquette. So the Saturday was not the best in terms of the respect level that we need to show each other and BTS. Mm-hmm. So I think I'm just gonna say some reminders. I posted on our Instagram, you know, so the first thing is like respect the venue. If you have garbage, throw it out in the proper areas. You know, make sure you're thanking all the staff and being polite. And I know the majority of you are, but I think it's just something we need to reinforce going forward.
Yeah, because we don't want like a couple bad apples just like
ruining it for everybody else.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I had the word tarnishing in my mind. I don't know why.
I mean, yeah,
it's a bit extreme, but you know what I mean.
I know what you meant. The second thing is to respect others. So respect your fellow army, making sure there's no like rushing, stay in your seat. We're still living through a pandemic, so I don't think like moving seats or like going down to the front, you know, especially when that cart comes around, like stay in your seat. Okay.
You can literally see it from anywhere.
You can see it from anywhere. Trust me. Like
we've done it in LA. You can see it from anywhere, and we're like really high up.
Trust me. That also means, you know, like keeping army bombs at your chest level. Same with signs, phones, anything like that. Like no higher than your forehead, so that other people behind you can see. It's a level of respect, right? Like we gotta continue to do that going forward. And then respecting BTS is the third thing as well. So like no throwing objects onto the carts, like flowers or stuffed animals or whatever you want to, like keep it to yourself. Unless they actually ask you to give it to them, please don't.
Yeah, there were a couple instances where that happened.
Yes. That
we've seen the clips.
Yeah, that we're
but
not
we're also
good because, you know, Jin has an injury on his hand. Yoongi almost got hit in the face. So let's like
my boy, please
not do that.
Because like there's also a couple instances where they did ask for them.
Yes.
For example, the J-Hope flowers in the cart.
Yeah.
And then the Tay one where he actually returned the flowers and she was like,
was
no.
You. That's like the perfect summary of BTS and ARMY's relationship. No, you.
And then he took them and was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Or like JK in Seoul with the flowers as well. Like those were specific instances where they asked to have the objects that you're giving them. Exactly. If they don't ask or they don't communicate with you,
because they were anticipating it.
Yes. Then
because if you throw it and they're not, that's when it gets dangerous.
Yes, I don't want to have the cart taken away. Okay.
Please.
Please.
They've done like cart things for like a really long time. We don't want this to stop.
We don't want this to stop. We don't want this to happen. Don't throw things on stage. I think it was during the Love Yourself tour that Namjoon specifically said, do not throw things on stage. So please don't do that.
Because like especially if they're dancing, like they're not like looking at their feet.
Yeah, no.
So like they're expecting the stage to be clear.
It's just it's a level of respect. So let's continue to do that forward.
And honestly, it's not just like for BTS. It's like for any artist in general. You shouldn't be throwing things.
You shouldn't be throwing things on stage. And honestly, with other artists who've had things thrown at them, they just stop the show and leave. And honestly, yeah, like if I had something thrown at me, I would do the exact same thing. I would just stop the show and leave and not continue.
Yeah.
Because it's disrespectful.
It's like it's kind of like the same thing. For example, you see an artist in the street, are you gonna throw things at them? No. Like it's like, oh, I got you flowers. There you go. Like
yeah, no. So let's just reminder for this weekend to just continue that level of respect going forward. And
if you don't, Jess gonna actually yell at you.
I will yell at you, honestly. Yeah, I have no problem ripping up your signs or
I'm fully expecting you to like represent the both of us with that thing. It was like, if you see anything, just do it.
Yeah, like I'm not.
You have the Jan's seal of approval for it.
I'm not gonna hold back. I'm sorry, but I'm not.
And I'm sure Lenny and Kat will do it with you. So
100%, yeah. So just respect, I think, is something we need to have a reminder of going forward. It's just respect venue, respect other armies, and respect BTS. And that's
100%.
I will end that. in fear of getting angry.
Let's move on to artist shoutout before Jess becomes the Hulk.
Yeah, except I'm not gonna turn green. I think I'll turn purple instead.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too.
I'll become it's like a purple thing.
Bora Hulk.
Oh.
There you go.
I like it.
I got you.
I like it.
All right, so artist shout out. I can go first.
You can go first.
So my artist this week is someone I found on Instagram. It is Jenny Aki.
Ooh.
And they make beautiful digital art.
Wow.
It is absolutely stunning how they can capture like so much emotion and like it's so good.
Wow.
Isn't it so good?
It's so good.
The JK Butter with like the purple hair and the little ponytail.
Damn.
It's so good.
It's so good. Like, wow.
So it just like popped up. Like sometimes you have like recommended things. And this one popped up and I was like, oh yes, follow. Thank you. It's so pretty. I just love looking at their work. It's so good.
Love. My artist this week is a Maple Army. So
love that.
CMN Studios is who it is, and it's obviously BTS inspired, but they're like really like cute, kind of
so cute.
Yeah. My favorite one has to be this like army bomb pin with all of them like hugging the little bomb.
Yeah, I just saw that one. It's so cute.
It's so cute. I don't know. I love like the sort of like pastel vibes of everything.
It's your turn to go chibi nowadays, it seems.
It is. It's so cute.
The butter ones.
Yes.
But like the like the posters and everything. It's so good.
It's so good. I'm such a fan.
It's so good.
I love it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to like get a sticker journal and like
put all my stickers
thing.
into it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I know.
Because like when my binder is gonna be full, like, because if you guys, I don't think I've showed it, but this is my Korean learning binder, and so far I've been putting all my stickers on here. So I have a bunch over here. I have one on the side here. Permission to dance. And like the back has nothing on it yet, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna put on it, because I also don't want them to be like scraped or anything, but like the side and the front is like there's less chance of it happening. But that's where I am. Like I have all the number ones, and I have like I survived the merch line. But like I have this one. I survived PTD Yoongi, and then the Seoul concerts happened, and some of my friends were like, "You sure you survived PTD Yoongi?" I was like, at this point, I don't know anymore.
No. The answer to that question is hell no. No. Because the Maknae line seems to be acting out a lot, and I don't know how to live in this universe where JK is just like, yeah, no problem. I'll just lift off my shirt. Don't worry about it.
There's also like the Tay and JK dancing, and then there's
Tay on Saturday, his look. Oh, I almost died.
And then there's the Tay ignoring Jimin and JK, so they're just in their corner doing their thing. Yeah, the Maknae line has been an issue.
Yep.
Always.
Yeah.
All right.
And their Instagrams are not helping, so.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
I don't even want to talk about it. Let's go to Songs of the Week.
Songs of the Week.
Before we break down.
Facts.
So my BTS song this week is Lost.
Oh, I love that song.
It's such a good song, but also like I'm lost in the confusion of the BTS world at the moment, because these concerts have me like, yeah.
I understand.
And my non-BTS song this week is 20 by ITZY.
I don't think I've heard this song.
It's on their latest like album.
Okay.
With Loco and everything. But they just released a music video for their first fan meeting this week.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's like a little bit different than their usual music. Mm-hmm. But it's really like really fun and really good. But also it kind of works out because now they're all like either 20 or older.
Right.
So it's really fun. It's a fun video too, because they're like in an arcade and all of that. It's really fun.
Nice.
And it's also kind of weird, but also really cool to see Ryujin with longer hair. She looks really good. I'm just saying.
We love long hair. We love it. So my BTS song is My City. Because I feel like I'm heading into My City with Boraegas happening.
The BTS city.
The BTS city. So that's kind of how I'm feeling at the moment. I would also like to give a shout out to Map of the Soul Persona, because today is the anniversary of Boy With Love, and Map of the Soul Persona as a whole album.
This means that it is my ARMY-versary.
Yay!
It's been 3 years.
3 years, baby. Yeah, happy 3-year for Map of the Soul Persona. We love her. She is amazing. I mean, Boy With Love is iconic.
It's one of my comfort songs.
That whole album, to be honest.
Because yeah. Like any ARMY will tell you, like the song that made them discover BTS and become an ARMY is like their ultimate comfort song.
Yes.
When you think about it.
It's fact.
So whenever I was feeling down, some of my friends sent me a photo, like a video of their dog with Boy With Love playing in the background. She was like, yeah, I put that one on because I know it's your ARMY song. And I was like, that's so nice.
Yeah. As you guys know, mine is Save Me. So
we've talked about it just a little bit.
Just a little bit. I've mentioned it like maybe once, maybe twice.
I don't know.
And then my not BTS song is in honor of Rocktan being nominated. BTS and Coldplay, My Universe, of course. I love that song. I feel like that's one of my favorite collabs. And actually, speaking of collabs, I didn't even mention this, but Steve Aoki went to the concert.
Uncle Steve!
His remixes with BTS are iconic. Like, come on.
Speaking of Steve Aoki, when that happened and the photos came out, one of my friends posted it in our Discord and called him Pantene Oppa.
Girl, you did not. Oh my god!
But tell me it's wrong though. It's not.
It's not entirely wrong.
Sorry, I had to. No offense. It's literally just a joke. I screamed. I was like, what?
I don't know how to act.
Anyway. Shall we act?
Yes. I don't know how to react to that, so let's
move on.
Moving on.
All right. As usual, we have a new podcast coming out every Thursday and a new clip coming out every Sunday at 3 p.m. EST. You can also find us on any app where you can listen to your podcasts on the go, or you can also find us on our social medias at Army ThinkTank or at Army ThinkTank Podcast. Just a reminder, we're still not on Facebook, so don't look for us there.
No.
But otherwise, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and ring that bell to be notified whenever we post a new video. On that note, have a good week. And we'll see you guys next week after Jess comes back and I see the online concert and when we're all gonna die fangirling together. Okay, bye!
Bye!